Hi everyone, Dani here. Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Today we are going to be doing a bookshelf tour of one of the bookshelves that you, if you are new, probably have seen a little bit more often this year than my regular followers have ever seen before. And that's because this bookshelf that I'm sitting in front of is not the bookshelf that I traditionally sit in front of. Usually I'm up in my book room with all of my more adult books, fiction, historical fiction, all that. But this bookshelf is actually my middle grade, early elementary bookshelf. So this is like the kids' bookshelf. I would say half of it's my books, half of it's my stepdaughter's books from when she was a young child / middle grade reader. And of course, I keep mostly all of the books that I have, especially the ones that I really do enjoy. And recently, a subscriber asked me to kind of give a tour of the shelf because they had never seen it before, as they are a long-time subscriber. So if you are new here, like I said, you've probably seen this shelf a couple of times so far, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the notification bell, so that you can check out all of my shelves that I will randomly sit in front of. I promise there's not that many. But anywho, let's go ahead and talk about what is on this shelf. So we're going to start here on the bottom, and we have kind of a mishmash down here. So we have some Descendants diary kind of things that my stepdaughter was into, as well as a few other books that she was gifted and we just didn't really get rid of. You can see there's The Bodyguard, we have some Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon books. There's The Boy in the Girl's Bathroom, The Girl I Used to Be. I think that's like a middle grade book that my mom kind of gave me from a rummage sale. Then we have some of Sophie's books. So you have Meet Sophie and Sophie's Drama. Then we have those Wandla books. Those, I actually, so funny story, I bought the first one back when I was in college, and when my husband and I, back when we were just dating, got together, he saw it and he's like, oh, this looks kind of good. And he read it to his daughter, my stepdaughter, and she just fell in love with it. So we ended up getting the next two. So that's a 3-book series, and I kind of wasn't part of that whole deal, so I'm not really sure what happens in there, but from what I understand with them two, they absolutely love those books. So those are definitely books that I have to get to at some point as well. As we continue down farther in the bookshelf, and I'm sorry, I'm not pulling any of these books out because they're on the bottom shelf, and with my tummy being as big as it is, this is hard enough trying to get down here. But we have the books, I believe, 1 and 4 of Land of Stories. I'm starting to collect those, so when I see them, I just pick them up and hope I can get the whole series and then start that soon. We have Mr. Lemoncello's Library. We have A Lemony Snicket. I believe that one is All the Wrong Questions. And then I have the second one too with No Dust Jacket my mom found. I have a kids edition of Hidden Figures. I have The Magic Misfits, which is something I just currently read. The One and Only Ivan. I have the Emmy and the Incredible Shrinking Rat, which is great. I really like that. I also have Arthur, which is a trilogy. It's book 1. And that one's The Seeing Stone. I have One Crazy Summer, which was a really excellent book. I read that last year. There's that second in the Lemony Snicket. And then I have the first 4 of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, so that's the bottom shelf. It's kind of just the mishmash shelf because there's no one can really see down there. So I just put books that don't really go to anything else down there. Then on the second shelf, you can see we have Keepers of the Lost Cities. So we actually have the entire series so far. Those are usually books that my stepdaughter gets gifted to her. So at some point I do need to read these books because she will probably take them with her when she leaves the house. She's already 16, so that is not too far away. So it's quite a big series. So if I'm intending to read them while they're in my house, I better do it soon. It looks like she may have book 2 and 9 downstairs. So I know she's trying to reread them, and she just got gifted the 9th book for her birthday this year. So we have the entire Keepers of the Lost Cities. And then as we kind of roll down the pike here, we have this silly chair that a minion sits in. But we have some of these Margaret Peterson Haddock's books. And this is the second in the Shadow Children's series. I believe we have 4 of them. I have not read these, but I believe I heard about them on a different channel, maybe Krista's channel, and said they were pretty good. I know my stepdaughter really enjoyed that series. Like I said, a lot of these are her books, and then mixed in are mine as well. But then we have the Story Thieves and Gone. And then this series is actually from what used to be called Usborne. And so it's a 13-book series, but you start at 13 and you go down to 1, from what I understand. I have not read these, but yeah, it's called The Last 13. So very, very interesting series as from what I heard. So maybe something I might look into. Then we have Dragon Rider down at the end here. So some of you may be familiar with that. Cornelia Funk, she's got great stuff. She's the writer of Inkheart, which is an excellent series as well. And then we have these mermaid books that my stepdaughter was really into. So we have Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, and Dark Tide. Those are written by Jennifer Donnelly. She does a lot of writing for Disney, so when they do those Disney books, like If the Villain Would Have Won, that kind of stuff, she does those. So these are kind of another part of her series. So my stepdaughter was really into mermaids for a while, so yeah. Then we have the second in the Artemis Fowl series, which I want to get to soon. That was actually on that bottom shelf, but I think I moved it up because I want to read it soon. And then I do have the full Percy Jackson series. The first one is upstairs, but we do have the full series of that as well. So that is the Percy Jackson series, if you're familiar with that, which I really like that series a lot. A lot. Then up top is where you really get into a lot of different books. So this whole stack here is my Roald Dahl series stack. So I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and The Glass Elevator in one book. I have The Witches, The Twits, Matilda, BFG, George's Marvelous Medicine, Missing Golden Ticket, and Other Splendiferous Secrets. Boy, I think this is Essio Trot. I also have in here is The Enormous Crocodile, The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, The Magic Finger, and then James and the Giant Peach up on top. So anytime I see a Roald Dahl, I pick it up. I love those stories. They're amazing. Yeah, they're very nostalgic for me, so I love those books a lot. Then behind all of those, we have a whole lot of stuff that my stepdaughter was reading at the time. So we have a bunch of Boxcar Children, not in any particular order. There's a lot of the beginning, and then there's like a couple of random ones. We have some Judy Blume, so we have like Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing, Double Fudge, Fudge-A-Mania, so forth. We have The Rescuers, which she really liked that movie, so we found the book. Then we have a couple of the Beverly Cleary. So these are getting more into like the young children, so like more like elementary. So we have Beezus and Ramona, Ramona the Brave, Ramona and her father, Ramona Quimby, age 8, Ramona the Pest, Ramona Forever. Next to that, these are a little bit younger too, but we have The Rescue Princesses. So we have the full series of that. It looks like we're missing maybe number 8, but these could just be messed up too. She also is really into Dear Dumb Diary, which she always wanted her grandma to read her, and grandma did not like those books. So yeah, she did not like reading those aloud. Then of course, we also have Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So we have basically all of those. And I know that we had one of the journals. I think there was like a journal that went with that. But yeah, so she has 1 through 9, and I'm not sure if there are more, but that's as far as she got as far as reading those. But she really enjoyed Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And then we have some Ever After High. The Sisters Grimm book she really enjoyed too. She was really into fairy tales for a while. Those are ones that I might be interested in reading because those were really fun for her to read, so I might do that. I found this one at the dollar store. This is The Boy, the Bird, and the Coffin Maker. And this was really intriguing to me, if I can get it out here, just because of the way that it looks inside. So if you open it up, there's like illustrations, but it's all in blue. So like the lettering is in blue, there's illustrations throughout, and just like a lot of artistic detail. So I haven't read that yet. Maybe I should read that this month. I'm going to leave that out. Next is Artemis Fowl. Then we also have, we have the How Lunchbox How Lunchbox Jones Saved Me from Robots, Traitors, and Missy the Cruel. This I think we got at half price. One of those times that we spent money on books. My stepdaughter also really loved these books. So Sisters and Smile. So she really liked those. I think these are like little comic books. So those were fun. The last couple books that we have up here are the Whatever After. Like I said, she was really into like fairy tale stuff. So we have a couple of those books. And then we also have the Ivy and Bean books. So she liked those as well. And then, like I said, she really liked mermaids. So we have all the Emily Winsnap books. So this is 1 through 6. So Emily Winsnap. And I don't know if I would read these. I think these are a little young for what I would consider middle grade, but let me know in the comments. Have you read Emily Winsnap? Would you recommend that for a middle grade book, or would you consider it a little bit lighter? But those might be fun to read as well. So then on the very top are a lot of my books, but I have the full series of Unfortunate Events. So that's 1 through 13. So starting with The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, Miserable Mill, The Oster Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and then The End. I also have the unauthorized autobiography of Lemony Snicket, and this is so fun to like. If you know anything about those books, you know, they're very sleuthy, and there's like little like snippets of like helping the reader try to like figure out what's going on, and it's kind of like this author and reader conversation. So that unauthorized autobiography is really fun to like go back and be like, oh my gosh, from this book, and I remember it from this book. So that's a lot of fun. On the other side, I have the Wrinkle in Time series. Now, I've only read the first one, A Wrinkle in Time, and I didn't really like it. Like, I didn't think it was that great. I didn't really understand the big hoopla about all of it, but I got that whole series in that book set at a rummage sale for $6. So I'm not about to like get rid of it, because I think to myself, like, maybe it was just me at the time not enjoying that book. There's 6 books in the series, so, 5 books in the series. So, I mean, is it all that bad? I know a lot of people really enjoy the series, so I'll just have to, like, try it again. And then in the middle here are just some, like, older books that I have enjoyed or want to read. So we have Because of Winn-Dixie. We have Indian in the Cupboard. We have Charlotte's Web. We have Little House in the Big Woods and Harriet the Spy. My stepdaughter really enjoyed Harriet the Spy when she was a kid, and I grew up with the Nickelodeon movie, so that was always really fun. So, and then lastly, we have Julie of the Wolves, The Borrowers, Island of the Blue Dolphin, Stuart Little, which I absolutely love this book, and then Madeline's Rescue is here because I really like Madeline. So that is my middle grade, early elementary bookshelf. I have a feeling this is going to get a lot bigger as my kiddos get older because obviously we'll add to it. A lot of these might be gifted depending on, you know, the taste of the house. Like, do we like boxcar children or not? A lot of these kind of books are books I would consider regifting or putting in a little free library, other than obviously like the Roald Dahl, the Series of Unfortunate Events, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I thought I would take some time and show you my shelf. I'm sorry if it was a little cattywampus, but it is really getting hard for me to move around with this big old tummy of mine. So I'm doing the best I can, having as much fun as I can, and trying to give you all what you request. So let me know, have you read any of these series? Like I said, a lot of these things I haven't read because they are a little bit more like elementary. But yeah, let me know what your favorite middle grade books have been this month so far or in the past. Let me know, have you read The Boy, the Bird, and the Coffin Maker? Because now I'm like intrigued. I kind of really want to read this year. So maybe I'll let you know what I thought about that. But anywho, until next time, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.